Hi, everyone. This is Heather Hodges. I'm an organizational psychologist. Welcome to my show. This is the place where we say I'm in to creativity, bold thinking, transformational growth, and meaningful conversations. Plato said, you can learn more about a person in an hour of play than you can from a lifetime of conversation. And I think he was right. I first learned about Lego Serious Play several years ago when I saw Lego Serious Play facilitator on a colleague's resume. And I was super skeptical and I thought, wow, okay, that's different. But then I kept seeing it. It's like once you see a yellow car on the highway, you start to notice every other yellow car on the highway. So I suspended judgment and I turned up my curiosity and I did a little research and I was so intrigued and fascinated. I read everything I could get my hands on and I couldn't get certified fast enough. And now I use Lego Serious Play in a lot of my workshops and I have found that it breaks down barriers and it just invites full participation and unlocks creativity and communication and collaboration. But how? Well, let's start with the basics. What is it? So Lego Serious Play is a facilitated methodology that uses Lego bricks as a tool for creative thinking and problem solving and team building and communication and strategic planning. And it is based on psychology and neuroscience, and it's supported with a growing body of empirical research, which shows how this kind of hands-on, minds-on learning works. So this isn't just playing with Legos for fun, although it is fun. It's about using Lego bricks as a tool to think with your hands and listen with your eyes. It's all about that hand-to-brain connection because when you start building with your hands, 80% of your brain is activated. So what is it used for and what do you do during a Lego Serious Play session? I offer 4 structured workshops: strategy and goal setting, culture building, change management, and team conflict resolution. But you can use this methodology to accomplish a number of goals. And I know leadership coaches who even use it in coaching sessions. But every Lego Serious Play workshop has 4 main steps. And it starts when the facilitator asks a question or poses a challenge to the group. And then in the next step, you build an individual model in response to the question. Then in step 3, each person tells a story and explains what they have built. And then finally, we reflect on what happened and the facilitator poses a deeper question. So what does this look like in real life? So in my workshops, I always start by reintroducing my participants to Legos through warm-up exercises and skill building. So for example, I invite them to build a tower. Most of us have played with Legos as kids or we've stepped on them as adults. So they are usually familiar and they're non-intimidating, but it's good to remind your hands how to build with Legos. So after the warm-up exercises, I will pose a question or a challenge, and then you will build a model to represent your answer. So once you've had a little time to build a model, then we start storytelling and group discussion. And everyone at the table goes around and tells the story of their model. And this is the best part because the story you tell about your model, it brings it to life and gives it meaning. So you can imagine we are working with metaphors and symbols. So by giving shape and form to our imagination, we can construct and kind of externalize our thoughts. It's almost like 3D printing your ideas on the table in front of you. So this allows us to not only reflect on our own ideas, but it invites others to reflect on our ideas with us. And so part of the magic of Lego Serious Play is that it creates a level playing field. Everyone's voice is heard and everyone's ideas are valued. And let's face it, how often does that happen in your average team meeting? Most meetings are dominated by a few voices, but with Lego Serious Play, we get 100% participation. It creates what we call lean in meetings, not lean back meetings. And so one of the questions I had when I first learned about Lego Serious Play was, how did this all start? I thought it must be a new method since I hadn't heard about it. But when I mentioned it to a friend of mine in Europe, she was like, oh yeah, we've been using Lego Serious Play for years, which makes sense since Lego is a family-owned company based in Denmark. And a lot of the research and even the podcasts I found about Lego Serious Play are in Danish or German. So Lego Serious Play was born out of a period of crisis for the Lego Group in the mid-1990s. So Lego's owner, Kjeld Kirk Christensen, he teamed up with two business professors, Johan Roos and Bart Victor, to create a new way to approach strategic thinking. Now, they realized that traditional methods, they just weren't cutting it. So they devised a hands-on approach that used Lego bricks to model challenges and opportunities. And so by 2002, Lego Serious Play had become a formal methodology. And so here's a fun fact. In 2010, Lego decided to make this methodology open source. So that means anyone can learn it and use it and adapt it to their needs. And it's been used worldwide ever since in companies like NASA, Google, Coca-Cola, Toyota, Ernst & Young, and even the World Bank. So for example, NASA used it to enhance team cohesion and decision-making with their scientists and engineers. And Coca-Cola has used it to refine their global brand strategy by helping teams connect emotionally with their customers. So whether you are solving technical problems or developing a new product or trying to break down silos within your team, Lego Serious Play can help. And the best part, it's completely adaptable, so you can tailor it to fit the unique challenges of your organization or team. So let's take a look at some case studies and scenarios when Lego Serious Play is useful. In one of my recent workshops, the conference organizers had asked me to take their leadership team of about 80 people through a workshop on change management. So I used elements of Lego Serious Play to have them construct models of how they each experience change and also how their teams experience change. And I think the most enlightening part of that workshop was not only watching a room full of executive and senior leaders work with Lego bricks and embrace this methodology, but also seeing those leaders discover their own response to change. There was this element of deep reflection and self-awareness for many of them that probably would have taken hours in coaching or training to get to. Now, in another workshop, we explored organizational culture, and I asked them to build a model of the worst team they had ever worked on where nothing got done and there was a lot of conflict or bickering. And then I invited them to adapt their model and build a team that worked so well together that they achieved all their goals, and it was just a lot of fun. And it was fascinating to see how they adapted their models from worst to best. So for example, one person built a model of the worst team where he felt like he was all alone in a boat rowing by himself upstream. And so for the best team, he transformed the boat into a speedboat with a propeller and the flags are flying and the team is on the boat and they all had their specific areas of responsibility and they were happy and they were working together. Now, another person built a model of the worst team and the bricks were just scattered and disconnected and drowning. She actually poured water on the bricks to represent what it feels like. Then in the best team, the Lego people come together, they're facing each other, and they're holding hands to show they are working towards the same goal. And in a strategy session, the group explored goals for the upcoming year and what tools they needed to overcome the obstacles to reach their goals. Now, this participant built a model of herself standing in front of a growth garden with a backpack and tools in her hand, but she's not in the driver's seat yet, which is empty and it's right in front of her. But she is looking through this arched doorway that's in front of the driver's seat at all of the options in front of her. I think one of the most valuable parts of using Lego Serious Play in organizations is how it trains emotional intelligence and self-awareness. And this happens when participants externalize their thoughts and emotions through building a Lego Serious Play model and then sharing their stories and empathizing with each other's perspective in a safe environment. And I've started using elements of Lego Serious Play in my Enneagram workshops. And in a recent workshop, a participant built a model of her critical inner voices. And in the model, she is standing on a desk and looking down on this minifig, which represents her critical inner voices. And in the model, her critical inner voices, they have red eyes and they are chained down, and she's pouring hot coffee on them to silence them. And it was such a powerful representation of what she was experiencing. Now, let's geek out on the neuroscience behind this method with my research assistant, Percy, the I'm in penguin. Percy, what do you have for us? Thank you, Percy. So why does Lego Serious Play work so well? Because it taps into the hand-brain connection. And our brains dedicate a huge amount of sensory and motor resources to our hands. So think about it. When you're building something with your hands, your brain has to be deeply engaged. Now, a new study out of the Polytechnic University of Madrid tested how well students learn through traditional lecture versus an activity using Lego Serious Play. And the researchers divided 217 computer science students into a control group and then experimental group. And they started out by giving all 217 students a pre-test to determine their baseline knowledge on a topic. Then the control group received a 1-hour traditional lecture, and the experimental group received a 1-hour Lego Serious Play workshop with the same content. And in the post-test, they found that the students in the experimental Lego Serious Play group, they learned significantly more, and they were more motivated than their counterparts in the control group. So it's a fascinating study, and I will link it in the episode notes. So here's a fun and meaningful Lego Serious Play challenge you can do on your own this week. So I call it the Build Your Strength Challenge. So start by gathering your Legos. So find a small selection of bricks that you might have at home. There are no specific pieces required. Just grab a handful of loose bricks, or if you want to buy some, I will link a small classic set you can get on Amazon in the show notes. Now, once you have your Legos all gathered up, I invite you to reflect on this question. So what is one strength that defines you and helps you thrive in challenging situations? So then build your strength. So use the Lego bricks to create a model that represents your strength. And now it doesn't have to look like anything specific. It just needs to capture what the strength means to you. And if you get stuck, trust your hands. Just let them pick the bricks they want and just start building. And when you're done, reflect on your model. So ask yourself these questions, or better yet, find a partner to do the exercise with and share the story of your model with them. So what does the model mean to you? Why did you build it in this way? What does each one of the pieces represent? And how can you lean into this strength more in your daily life? And I encourage you to take a picture and share your model on social media and tag me. I can't wait to see what you create and the meaning it has for you. So there you have it. Lego Serious Play. It's more than just a workshop tool. It's a way to unlock creativity and build stronger teams and solve complex challenges. And if you've been looking for a way to shake things up in your organization, this could be it. And the best part, you get to play while you work, and who doesn't love that? And I would be honored to lead your team through a Lego Serious Play workshop so that you can experience the deep insights and the creativity and the teamwork and the collaboration and fun for yourselves. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the I'm In podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe and leave a review and share it with someone who could use a dose of creativity and inspiration. And as always, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you ever participated in a Lego Serious Play session? What was your experience like? So reach out to me on social media or send me a DM. And until next time, keep saying I'm in to creativity and bold thinking, transformational growth, and meaningful conversations. May you be wildly creative in your life and leadership. I'll see you soon.